Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. It is a World Liberty Financial special. It's Wednesday. Normally, I don't stream. Today, I'm streaming about World Liberty Financial. And of course, what a day to stream about it. The markets are down. Bitcoin's down at 66,500. Or have we got back up to 67,000? Who knows? But what we're going to do today, especially for those who have not watched last week's stream about this, is we're going to take you through World Liberty Finance. And we're basically going to spend the first 15 or 20 minutes going through the website. Then we're going to talk about the World Liberty Financial Token. We're going to talk about USD1. We're then going to look at the market cap of USD1 because it has changed dramatically since we streamed last Wednesday, maybe. Then we're going to have a look at the latest news. There's a few bits of latest news that have come out about World Liberty Financial in the last 2 or 3 days. We're also then going to look at a couple of other things with regards to the company, the application for them to become a bank. We're going to look at the forum, which is only probably now 7 or 8 days away. And then we're going to look at the World Liberty Financial chart and see where we are. So that is what we're going to do today. A few good mornings to Mags, to Hidden, and to KB in chat. I hope you're doing incredibly well. The markets are down, and so are the viewerships, okay? So for what I would like you to do, wherever you are, whether on your Binance Square or anywhere else, hit the repost button to let people know that we're streaming, hit the follow button on Crypto Warehouse, hit subscribe on Crypto Warehouse, and most importantly, hit the like button. Now, last week, we picked our favorite question on the stream. So if you have a question to ask about World Liberty Financial, ask it in chat now. You can ask more than one question. Now, last week, Danny and Mags won the giveaway because their questions were both equally as good, so we gave them both a prize. So today, we're going to do the same thing. Ask a question in chat about World Liberty Finance. It can have anything to do with the token. It can be to do with USD1. It can be to do with the company, the board, the direction, the strategy. Ask anything you want in chat, and we will pick one or maybe two winners for a prize that we're going to give away on Binance Square. So do that in chat. Remember, we did put airdrop into the title. We've dropped 2 red packets already over on Binance Square. I'm going to concentrate on the stream now, so there won't be another red packet for another 20 minutes or so. But we are going to get on with the show. That's what we're going to do right now. And I am going to flick over and bring up their website because we, believe it or not, we've got an hour. But look at the right-hand side. Look at what we've got to get through. There's a lot to talk about. And I know KB is a secret World Liberty Financial token holder. I know it. He holds he holds Bitcoin, I know. But I know he holds WLFI as well. And so does Mags. So let's get on with it. So World Liberty Financial, probably the best thing to do is to start with the About Us section. Who are they? You've probably heard a lot about them because there's massive competitions going on at the minute on Binance to do with holding the USD1 token. We're going to talk about that in a bit. But who are World Liberty Financial? Well, the two things we're going to look at, a little bit about the company, and then I'm going to show you the board of directors, which I think is important you really understand who's behind this project. So we believe traditional finance with the transparency of blockchain, creating a simple, accessible way to bridge classic banking with the digital financial future. How we're upgrading the financial system? Well, they're going to look at several ways. Here are the 3 main tenets of World Liberty Financial. Support US dollar-based stablecoins. They have their own. It's called USD1. Secondly, make capital more accessible. Loans by third-party providers for institutions and everyday users that are fast, fair, and frictionless. This launched probably within the 6 to 8 weeks. We covered this on one of our live streams because obviously we talk about a certain other platform that does the same thing. And at the time I was saying this is great for the industry. When you have large blue chip clients who have a lot of Bitcoin on their books, they're going to want to borrow against their collateral. So they're going to put up 100 Bitcoin or 500 Bitcoin, and then they're going to get several $1 million worth of USD1 in the loan. Of course, it's great for World Liberty Financial and other people because they get interest on that. And it's obviously great for the institutions because they can use their Bitcoin as collateral without having to sell it. So that's tenet number 2. And then number 3 is to bridge the Web 2 and Web 3 gap to simplify DeFi. Now, that's the stage which we're going to talk about really later on when we talk about their portfolio, because they're really Ethereum centric. And one of the things we talk about on here is which blockchains are going to win, which blockchains are going to be here in 5 and 10 years time. We talk about Bitcoin, we talk about Solana, we talk about Ethereum, we also talk about BNB. And they're really the 4 main winners right now. Yes, you've got Cardano and you've got XRP and you've got Hype and all of those kind of things going on. But when you come down to it, who's using what blockchain? So Ethereum is the blockchain of choice. BlackRock are certainly going to be using it for their trading platforms, and World Liberty Financial are heavily invested into the Ethereum blockchain and EVM associated blockchains as well. So that's who they are. Now, that's the first part. They're basically trying to bring crypto to the masses. Stage number 2 is who is on the team. And this is equally important to understand, because there are some big names involved in World Liberty Finance, and when we talk about the forum later on, there are even bigger names, or as bigger names, involved in the forum as well. But the board of directors, you have Donald Trump. POTUS himself is on the board. We have Eric Trump, his son. We have Donald Trump Jr. and Barron Trump, also 2 of his sons. And then you've got the team underneath. You've got Chase, Zach, Stephen, another Zach, 2 Zachs, in fact, Alex, Corey, Ryan and Brandy Reynolds. That's kind of the core team of World Liberty Financial. There's plenty of other people involved with the project, but they're kind of like the board of directors, if you like. They're the team in charge. And again, there's a lot more information down here about who they are and everything else, but we're not going to spend too long on this because we just have way too much to get through. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with the first of the 2 tokens that we're going to be talking about today, and that is World Liberty Financial, WLFI token. Now, the market is having somewhat of a correction, and with that correction, everything comes down. Last week, we talked about what's a good price to buy WLFI token at, and I said on the stream, anything under 11 cents is a good price, and I think we were at about 11.2, 11.5 cents. So when we look at the chart later on, we have what's called a kill zone, and that's like an accumulation zone, a price that a token goes to where you can start to dollar cost average in. World Liberty Financial, as far as I'm aware, went under that within the last 24 hours, okay? It fell below 11 cents, and this is kind of what I would consider to be the accumulation zone. This is where you buy WLFI token. Now, for those of you that are unaware, we've been buying World Liberty Financial token since, when did it launch? Was it sometime towards September last year, I think? Yep, September last year. So we've been buying down here. So we started buying in October. Okay, we said we were going to wait for the price to come down. It came down to the zone we wanted to buy at. We were buying at 11 cents, 12 cents, 14 cents. It's at 10 cents today. You know what we're going to be doing. We're going to dollar cost average into the token. This is the first token. The second token we're going to look at is the stable coin. But what do you actually get with WLFI? What's the point of holding the token? Well, from a utility point of view, you take part in the voting. How are they going to distribute the funds? How are they going to use the proceeds from USD1? All of those kinds of things are involved with holding WLFI. Now, that's only one element of it, but we will take you through it. You can propose, people can propose changes. You can then go and vote on this with the WLFI token, absolutely. After the vote has been concluded, the actions are taken. That is pretty much it. When it comes to token, it is a governance token, but this does not tell the whole story. And that's what we're going to go on to in a second, because there is a buyback mechanism built into World Liberty Financial that focuses solely on this token. And that comes with USD1. USD1 is the stable coin of World Liberty Financial. And we said probably in last week's show, and certainly over the course of the end of last year, World Liberty Financial are not here to play games. They're certainly not going to become the number one stable coin anytime soon. This is the top 10 list of stable coins in the world. You clearly have Tether and Circle number 1 and 2. But what we said was World Liberty Financial want to become the third biggest stable coin soon. Soon being the next 6 to 12 months. We also said that we covered this back in maybe October or November when World Liberty Financial stablecoin USD1, it was at about a $1.2 billion market cap. And one of their team came out and said, we aim to be the third biggest stablecoin in the world within the next 6 to 12 months. They're at $5.4 billion. $5.4 billion within the space of about 3 or 4 months. It's the fastest growing stablecoin on Solana. Solana's stablecoin TVL, I think, has gone up 188%, something like that, in the last 2 or 3 months, solely down to World Liberty Financial. So they are promoting their stablecoin. That's why you've got the offer on Binance that we're going to talk about shortly. But in my opinion, probably by March, I think they're going to flip Athena. Now, everything's a moving train. We talk about that an awful lot on this channel. We've talked about the fact that there was a $3.5 billion burn at the Tether treasury only this week. So money was coming out of Tether, but that's going to be short-lived. All of these stable coins are going to grow immeasurably over the next couple of years. And for me, World Liberty Financial is going to become the third biggest stable coin in the world. Will it hit 10 billion by the end of 2026? Probably. That's important to remember because at, let's say, a $10 billion market cap, it's easy for me to do those numbers this time of the morning. That will generate them about $400 to $500 million a year in interest because USD1 is backed by US treasuries. So it's 1 for 1. So $5.4 billion market cap of USD1 is backed by $5.4 billion worth of US treasuries and obviously cash. So it's backed. It's not an algorithmic stablecoin. It's not backed by Bitcoin, Ethereum, hopes and dreams. It's backed by the US dollar. Now, that money, that $400 or $500 million, is going to do what? It's going to be used to buy back WLFI token. And over the reasonably medium-term length, maybe over the next year or two, that's going to make a significant dent in the supply of WLFI token. So that's how those two tokens interact. The stablecoin is growing and it's being promoted. And on the other hand, each $1 billion worth of additional market cap that it gets, it adds about $40 million worth of revenue a year. So it's in their best interests for it to grow in this way. So will they become the third biggest stablecoin in the world? I think they're pretty much going to overtake Athena, probably hit $10 billion by the end of the year. Absolutely. So that's how this kind of works. The two tokens are intertwined. WLFI gives you the opportunity to vote and have a say in the direction. The stablecoin is being used to grow the business. And of course, if people take out loans, they're going to be taking out the loans in USD1. So it's got its own ecosystem, it's got its own utility itself. And that is pretty much what they're going to do. And down here, it's stable and fully backed. As I've just said, it's not algorithmic. It's like Tether, it's like Circle, it's backed with US Treasury debt. It's multi-chain. We talk about it being on Ethereum, but of course it's also on the BNB chain, the BSC chain, the Binance Smart chain. It's also over on Solana. So it's in multiple different blockchains. The rest of it is pretty much straightforward. Full transparency, we'll talk about that in a bit. And again, down here, it's got a list of the different places you can get it. We know we're going to talk about any other exchanges. So again, there's a load of things down here to do with how it's going to be used, cross-border payments, global dollar, DeFi and capital markets, Now, this is the important thing. There's a thing called attestations, where a third party will go into World Liberty Financial and they will check all of the bank statements, the bank accounts, to make sure that what World Liberty Financial say is actually what they do. So an attestation is basically a trusted third party saying, yes, World Liberty Financial have $5.4 billion worth of the stablecoin. And each one is down here. We're not going to go through these. I mean, this is as dull as dishwater. We don't really care about this kind of stuff. But the point of the matter is, if you want to do your own research, you want to do your own due diligence, it's there on the website. Okay? Go and look for it yourself. Again, another one of the reasons they're going to build their own stablecoin business is because of the Genius Act, because the American administration, which is in place now, that's pushing forward with the stablecoins, because what does it do? It promotes the US dollar. There is really only one Web3 currency, and that's the dollar. There is no other real opportunity. They've tried with the euro, they've tried with other currencies, the pound. They've all failed. This is really where I think World Liberty Finance are trying to push forward with stablecoins. So that's the token. That is the stablecoin. You now know both of them. You now know what they're about. You now know who's on the team. Do they make any money? That's what we ask on the stream. We covered this in yesterday's stream, but it's so good, we're going to have to cover it again. And the reason for this is very simply that we want to make sure that we do a decent job of covering everything. So Trump-affiliated World Liberty Financial generates $1.4 billion in 16 months. So in just over a year, they've made $1.4 billion. This goes into talk about the fact that Trump, being the biggest holders of the company, are obviously going to make the most money. That's simple. If they make $1.4 billion, they're going to be walking away with $700 million worth of growth in the assets. So that's how I would look at it. So according to a Wall Street Journal feature, World Liberty earned the Trump family at least $1.2 billion in cash over 16 months, plus $2.25 billion in paper gains from crypto holdings. The Witkoffs earned at least $200 million. For context, the Trump's real estate empire took 8 years to generate $1.2 billion in cash between 2010 and 2017. World Liberty's disclosures show 75% of the token sales flow directly to a Trump entity, 12.5% to the Witkoffs, and 12.5% to co-founders Zach Folkman and Chase Hero. President Trump owns 70% of that Trump entity, while unnamed family members own 30%. The Abu Dhabi deal accelerated the windfall. Anyway, we're going to talk about that bit right now. The Trump family received $187 million up front, while the Witkoff entities got $31 million, creating immediate liquidity beyond the token sales. So this generates a lot of cash. And the more cash the business makes, the bigger the business grows. It's all well and good saying that companies shouldn't make profits. Companies don't make profits. They don't exist. So World Liberty Financial is in the business of making money, growing the stable coin, using that stable coin revenue to then buy back the token, and that is how the system works. It's as easy as anything. You can explain it in an elevator. You can explain it in about 2 minutes, 60 seconds. You can explain how World Liberty Financial works. Now, moving on. Like I said, remember, if you have a question to ask, we are going to do some giveaways for the best questions. If you ask questions in chat and we like your question, we will choose it, we will answer the question, and then we'll give you a prize at the end of the stream. So it's in your best interests to answer the question. Now let me just drop that. I'm going to head over to Binance Square for 1 second. I'm going to go into chat and I'm going to post that in there so you all know. So if you come late to the stream, you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to cover that in there right now. Give me 1 second. There we go. Okay. Good morning. Let me mute this. There we go. I have to say that Binance Square used to have a delay of 10, 15, 20 seconds. It's now pretty much as we speak, you are hearing us live. So for our quizzes, that's absolutely fantastic. Okay. So I have just dropped that into chat. Let us get back into the stream. There we go. Okay, sorry for that. World Liberty Financial Fam and happy weekend. Binance Hold USD1 campaign week 2 is settled. If you haven't noticed, check out the Binance announcement for details and eligibility below. Weekend recap, what's live in the thread. So, this was the announcement from Binance a few weeks ago. Just hold USD1 and auto share $40 million in WLFI over 28 days. Margin and futures get 1.2x the rewards. So, basically, convert your stable coins to USD1 and you will share 40 million in rewards. That's pretty much it. Can't say fairer than that. Now, we're going to have a quick look at this. This is a bit of a breakdown of it, so you know what's what. So basically, from the 23rd of January, Binance will launch an airdrop campaign rewarding all eligible users who hold World Liberty Financial USD1 on our platform. Eligible users will share rewards from a grand prize pool of 40 million in WLFI tokens. WLFI will be distributed as weekly rewards to USD1 holders during the activity period. The first airdrop will be on the 2nd of February, which was about 9 days ago, covering the reward period from the 23rd to the 30th of January. Subsequent rewards will be distributed every Friday thereafter. Campaign period is the 23rd of January until... That's been cut off. Oh no, the 20th of February. So we've still got 9 days for you to win these awards. How to participate? Simply, if you've got USDT or USDC, just simply convert it to USD1. You might as well put it into Earn as well because that's paying 8 to 15%. You can put it in the spot account, funding account. USD1 as collaterals in Binance futures or margins receive 1.2x bonus multiplier. There's the campaign details. It's running over 4 weekly installments of $10 million in WLFI tokens each week. Distribution rewards will be airdropped directly to users' Binance spot accounts, and it will be done weekly. That is pretty much it in a nutshell. So, how do you participate? You simply hold USD1 in your spot or your funding account, and that's it. That's all you've got to do. So that's what I would suggest you go and have a look at. It's already on Binance. It's already live. Just go and convert to USD1 and away you go. That is pretty much it. So that's the hold campaign. Now, you will see on our menu that we've got PAX G. There's 2 parts to this. So that's the first one. The second part is this. And that's to do with, if I bring this up, there's a new USD1 pair on Binance. PAX G USD1 arriving on Binance. PAX G is the gold-backed token. So it's been around for donkey's years. It's been around for at least the last 6 to 8 years. PAX G, if you don't know what that is, for every dollar that you hold of PAX G, there is a physical dollar's worth of gold somewhere in a vault. So if you hold $100,000 in PAX G, number one, it will track the price of gold, so it will go up and down with the price of gold. And number two, there's $100,000 worth of gold sitting in a vault somewhere. That's what PAX G is. And they have been paired with USD1, so you can trade gold against World Liberty financial stablecoin. That's pretty much it. That went live yesterday. So that's only been live for 24 hours. And again, let's bring this up a little bit. Does it not have a breakdown of this? Fellow Binanceans, Binance Margin will list PAXG USD1 trading pair on cross margin at 8:30 UTC on the 10th, so pretty much 24 hours ago, give or take an hour or so. And then we'll list other tokens as trading pairs on 2 hours later than that. So basically, you can now trade this on Binance immediately when it loads. There we go. So that is basically what you can do. Now, bear in mind, there will be a premium probably on this because it's brand new, as it said in the disclaimer. Let me make that a little bit smaller so it fits. So there you go. So you can head over to PAXG USD1 and start trading right now on Binance Square, or on Binance, should I say. Next, we're going to move on because we don't have too much time. Let's close some of these things down. Yeah, we need to get the translate thing up so I can translate some of these messages we get sent in different languages, because we don't really know what you've asked, unfortunately. Right then, the Trump-linked crypto company applies for federal banking charter. World Liberty Financial is seeking regulatory approval to issue and manage USD1, its dollar-backed stablecoin. Give me 1 second. Copy this. World Liberty Financial, the crypto firm affiliated with President Donald Trump's family, announced Wednesday that it has applied for a banking charter with the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. Let me just very quickly do this. I forgot to send that across. There we go. So World Liberty Financial, the crypto firm affiliated with President Donald Trump's family, announced on Wednesday that it applies for a banking charter with the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. According to the company, they intend to use a national trust charter to issue USD1, the company's dollar-backed stablecoin, to allow customers to more readily use and convert the cryptocurrency. This application marks a further evolution of the World Liberty financial ecosystem, said Zach Witkoff, the proposed president and chair of World Liberty World Liberty Trust Company, the entity that has applied for the charter. Witkoff is the son of Trump's special envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff. All three of the president's sons are listed on the website as co-founders, as we've shown you, and Trump is listed as co-founder emeritus. Of course, Trump is the president of America. He's technically not allowed to have too many dealings with any company while he's the president of America, but that doesn't mean he has to give up all of his positions while he's the president. At the end of the last year, the OCC conditionally granted a number of crypto companies national trust charters, a form of banking charter that puts the companies under some federal regulations and allows them to manage digital assets and other financial instruments without having to seek state-by-state approval. It was widely seen as a landmark move by the bank regulator and a huge win for the digital asset sector, and was broadly panned by traditional banks. WLF joins a growing queue of digital asset companies hoping to get regulatory approval and eventually gain access to skinny master accounts at the Federal Reserve, which would grant them limited use of Federal's crucial payment system. Now, we don't need to talk too much more about that. The big bit of breaking news on this is yesterday and last week, the traditional banks, the Banks of America and the likes, they sat down at a round table with the stablecoin issuers and other exchanges to basically discuss how stablecoins can be used in America. And the big issue is this: stablecoins can offer 3, 4, 5% interest. Banks offer 0.25% interest. So the banks are expecting there to be a bank run. They're expecting all of their clients to up sticks and go to USD1 and the like. The stable coins are turning around and the exchanges are turning around and saying, why can't we offer yield? What's the problem? So there's this impasse where the banks fear for their lives and the stable coins want the market share. And the lines get blurred when stable coins and exchanges become banks, and then banks issue their own stable coins and their own crypto services. That's where the lines start to blur. And what World Liberty Financial are trying to do is sit in the middle as a bank, as a stablecoin provider, and as a way to onboard people to crypto. Now, we talked before about the fact that World Liberty Financial has generated more money in a year than Trump's business empire generated in 7 years, and there's a good reason for that. Crypto is a growing, expanding business. It's going to catch the eyes and the attention of everybody. So people are all going to get involved in crypto, and it's the hot thing along with AI. So it's unfair to compare building hotels with building a Web3 business. But the appetite is there, and the market is always going to grow. And what World Liberty Financial are trying to do is say, okay, well, we want to be a bank. We want to be we want to get a federal charter license. So we can then do custody. So we can custody assets. We can kind of then become a financial product. We can offer financial products. Maybe we can even offer ETFs along the way, whatever it might be. So they're trying to get into that market, which is the right thing to do. If they're going to onboard people from Web 2, retail, if they're going to try and onboard them, they need some of these licenses to hold those assets. So it's the right move for them to do it. Now, Circle, Tether, World Liberty Financial, eventually they're all going to get these licenses, okay? The crux of it is going to be, how far are the banks going to budge on the Genius Act? That is going to be that's going to be the thing that we need to keep an eye on, okay? We need to know if there's going to be any leeway on that. So that's the big thing for me. I think this is going to happen, by the way. My personal opinion, I think World Liberty Financial, in about 3 or 4 years' time, is going to be a little bit like a Vanguard for retail, where you come along to Vanguard, they make it really, really easy for you to create an account. You deposit your funds, you choose the asset vehicle you want to invest in, you invest in it, and then they keep you up to date. They notify you, they give you an online dashboard. You may then be able to take out a loan against your Bitcoin or your Bitcoin ETF, all of that kind of stuff. That's how I see it working from that point of view. From the institutional point of view, they're going to try and onboard as many blue chips as possible. And they're going to say, listen, you've got $100 million worth of Bitcoin. You can take a loan out for $25 million with us and use your Bitcoin as collateral. That's how I think that's going to work. So, brilliant for World Liberty Financial, but that's not really who's really going to win out of this. Retail are going to win out of this, because this isn't some rug pull that people are going to try and say, oh, well, it's just a rug pull, it's just this, that, and another. No, we've gone past that stage. We have NASDAQ-listed crypto businesses, NASDAQ-listed miners, NASDAQ-listed stablecoins, exchanges. We're not at that stage anymore. This company has a $5.4 billion stablecoin. This is not a rug pull. And I think the problem is there is a little bit of PTSD from 2022, 2023, where people just see these things pop up. They rocket up in value and then they just go to zero. That's not how this works. They're the 4th biggest stablecoin in the world. Think about that for a minute. The 4th biggest stablecoin in the world. Stablecoins are the hottest thing right now, and World Liberty Financial's USD1 is that stablecoin. It's going to become the 3rd biggest stablecoin in the world. And if you ask me, when these guys sit down around a table and say, where do we want to be? Their target will be the number 1 stablecoin in the world. That is what they want to do. Now, they are so far from that it's going to take them years to catch up, okay? But going from 1 to 5 billion in the space of 3 or 4 months doesn't mean they're not going to go to 10 billion before the end of the year. So at 10 billion, there's still 60 billion behind Circle. There's still 120 billion behind Tether. But it's a really good start. And when they get to $20 billion for their stablecoin, that's going to be making them $1 billion a year in revenue. So even if they don't get near Circle and Tether for some time, it's still a massive money-making business. And guess what? They're buying the WLFI token with it. So that is how you you can look at it. That's how I would look at it. They're aiming to be number one, but being number 3 and 4 for a while isn't that bad. Good morning, Tariq. Just a gentle reminder. If you ask a question in chat about World Liberty Financial and we read out your question and we answer your question, we are going to give you a giveaway. So, Mags, Tariq, KB, whoever's over there on that channel that I can't mention the name of, feel free. If you're watching somewhere else, just let me very quickly go over here before we move on. We're going to start talking about their portfolio in a minute. Let me just move this up. I do not know what has happened over here. Right, let me drop another one of these, and then we will get on with it. There we go. I'm just dropping another red packet over on Binance Square. There we go. Done. Okay, red packet has been dropped. So, if you ask a question, I read that question out, you win a prize. Simple as that. That's all you've got to do. Dead easy. And if there's no questions to be asked, nobody wins the prize. Now then, we're going to have a look at this portfolio in a minute. Okay, when we get the portfolio up, we're going to go through it. Trump-backed World Liberty Financial snaps up 2,868 ETH and sells $8 million of wrapped Bitcoin. Why would they do that? Well, I'm going to try and answer that question in a minute. World Liberty Financial is a project backed by President Donald Trump, and it moved a chunk of its Bitcoin exposure into Ethereum this week. Reports say the group sold wrapped Bitcoin holdings and picked up a large amount of Ether in the same set of transactions. According to blockchain trackers, 93.77 Bitcoin was sold, which worked out to $8 million at the time of the swap. The proceeds were then used to buy 2,868 ETH, an average price of $2,800. The trade was executed from a wallet that on-chain analysts linked to the WLFI treasury. That wallet activity was visible on public ledgers and has been shared across several crypto news sites and monitors. Prices were modestly lower for Ethereum when the purchase happened. Some traders see it as a buying chance. Reports say this move comes as Ethereum's trading ranges have made some holders rethink where to park large sums. The reason behind this shift, according to this article, and I'll give you my own reasons in a second, holding ETH gives direct access to smart contracts, staking, and DeFi tools that wrapped Bitcoin cannot offer on its own. Some market watchers think WLFI may be positioning to use ETH for on-chain services, staking, or profit from future network activity. Others suggest it could be a way to rebalance risk between stores of value and utility tokens. Reports say no single motive can be proved from the chain itself, only the movement of funds. And again, what we're going to do now to kind of have a look at this, I'm going to try and take you through what I think the move was about. Now, this is Arkham. This is a pretty good website. I don't use it very often. I'd say, other than looking at World Liberty Financial, the one reason I look at this site is to look at Satoshi Nakamoto's wallet. They've been tracking high-profile accounts for years. And World Liberty Financial, they found, they tracked, and they brought this one up 3 or 4 months ago. And that's kind of where we are now. Now, the thing with Ethereum is, and it kind of alluded to this, is the fact that Ethereum is the DeFi capital of crypto. Okay? It's the New York of crypto. If you want to earn a yield, a substantial yield on substantial funds, you use Ethereum. You don't use Solana. You don't really use any other chain. You use Ethereum. Now, ever since they've been live, I have noticed that they have been solely focused on Ethereum. Wrapped Bitcoin is wrapped Bitcoin on the Ethereum blockchain. It's not Bitcoin on the Bitcoin chain. It's not native Bitcoin. They never bought tokens outside of the Ethereum blockchain until I think Justin Sun sent them $30 million worth of Tron to buy WLFI tokens. So there was $30 million worth of Tron or TRX. That was the only time they really had anything outside of Ethereum. So World Liberty Financial have picked Ethereum as their blockchain of choice. And the likes of Aave, for example, can offer you 3% yield on your Ethereum. If you've got 10, 20, $50 million worth of Ethereum over there on Aave, you're earning a pretty good yield. And I think that's what they're trying to do. And again, I said this in last week's stream as well. Warren Buffett, you can show him a farm, you can show him a block of gold, and you can ask him which one he's going to invest in. And 100 times out of 100, he will pick that farm because it generates yield. That's what it does. A farm, it makes eggs, it makes meat, it makes dairy, it makes butter, whatever it might be. It makes a yield. And Buffett believes over time that yield will increase because prices increase, inflation increases, but you're buying an asset that's generating that yield. And Ethereum is the same thing. Ethereum is like a farm, okay? Bitcoin is kind of like gold, which is why Warren Buffett doesn't go after it. It can't really generate a yield. It doesn't really do anything, but it does have asset appreciation, yes. Now, the question is, why have they sold Bitcoin to buy Ethereum? Probably the same way and the same reason why during the bull market, when Ethereum was going to break $5,000, it would go to $6,000, people were saying, okay, well, I'm going to unstake my Ethereum. I'm going to take it off the chain. I'm going to take it off the proof of stake system. I'm going to sell it. And there was a massive outflow. It was like a 3-month delay to get your Ethereum out of proof of stake. And now we're at the stage where people are adding Ethereum back into proof of stake. And why are they doing that? Because they don't believe the price is going to move considerably to the upside for the foreseeable future. And the best thing to do, in their opinion, is they're not going to sell their Ethereum. They're going to stake it and earn a yield. And I think that's what World Liberty Financial are doing. They've gone, you know what? We don't think the market's going to move for a considerable amount of time. We're going to buy our 3,000 Ethereum. We're going to stake it. We're going to leave it there for a year. We're going to leave it there for 2 years, however long it takes, and we're going to earn a yield on it. That's what I think they're doing. And I believe that's probably the right choice. Now, let me bring this up on screen so you can see it. So this is the breakdown of what they've got at the minute. Just give me a second. This is what they've got at the minute. They've got $4.6 billion in the account. Now, the thing I like about Arkham is down here on the right-hand side, you can see all of the transactions. Okay? You can see all the transactions. You can see what's going on. You can see the breakdown of the tokens. You can see it all. You can see their entire history down here if you want to go and have a look at it. I think I can probably link to that in Binance Square. Should we have a little look if this will drop? Am I going to be able to paste that in there? Is that going to be allowed? Maybe. Okay, well, that's the link. I've got Inception going on right now. That's the link to Arkham. We have a question, which I will answer. A very good question. Thank you, Tariq, for that question. We will answer that question. As it stands, that looks like it's going to be the best question. Now, we're going to move on. And this is something, we've got 15 minutes left. 15 minutes to do this and do the chart, I think, is going to be enough time. We've got a question over there. Mags, just think of a question. It can be anything. At this moment in time, I would like 2 winners. And so far, the questions have been asked in a different language that I don't understand, and I can't find the translate button. We've got one from Tariq, and we've got a couple of others. But the one from Tariq I like. So ask any question about World Liberty Financial, and we'll give you an airdrop. Now then, this is on February the 18th. And the reason I'm bringing this up is I think there's going to be a lot of hype around this. And I think we're going to see a lot of alpha come out of this. When you look at Solana Breakpoint, Binance Blockchain Week, Bitcoin, the Bitcoin conference, most major announcements are made in those periods. and we're going to take you through in a minute this list of individuals who are now turning up. So if I just do that, I'm going to take you through the World Liberty Financial X account in a minute, and I'm going to show you basically who else has been added, because guess what? They are adding constantly to this list of people. So the 18th of February, Mar-a-Lago, Palm Beach, Florida. There is a video down here. If we click this, I don't think I'll be able to play the sound, but is there... I thought there was a trailer video on this. Maybe not. Okay, so it goes live, or the event starts, in 7 days' time. It's a week today. A select group of 300 global leaders will convene at Mar-a-Lago for the World Liberty Forum to discuss the future of finance and tech. And last week, like I said, Mags was here last week, I think. There are lots of these types of meetings that go on around the world. There's the World Economic Forum in Davos. That's a big one that everybody talks about. There's the Bilderberg meeting, which goes on. I don't know how often that goes on, once a year. That's normally leaders, tech leaders, royalty, prime ministers, presidents. They all meet once a year. I think it's once a year. So these types of events go on. This is the list of speakers. And again, I'm going to say the same thing I said last week on this. Goldman Sachs are there. The chairman of the Commodities Future Trading Commission is there. The CEO of Franklin Templeton is there. We've got the chair and CEO of NASDAQ. We've got the founder of Altimeter Capital. We've got the president of the New York Stock Exchange. We've got a senator. We've got Starwood Capital Group. We've got another senator. We've got Avenue Capital Group. And then we have this man here, Gianni Infantino, the president of FIFA. I don't know why he's here. I'm going to be honest. I don't know why he's there. It's like golden egg, golden egg, golden egg, golden egg, golden egg, goose. That's probably the wrong analogy, but you get the idea. Now, they're the confirmed speakers. They're going to be talking. You can request an invite. But what I want to really show you is that this update, which has been coming through over the kind of like the last 3 or 4 days, these are the people who are going to be attending the event. You have got an added group of senators and A-list celebrities in the financial world. So you've got Gary Cardinal, founder and managing partner of Red Bird Capital. Further down here, you have Erin Molan from the Erin Molan Show, which, I will be honest, I've never heard of, but I might have to check it out, see how good it is. Down here, you've got a few other people. Here we go. So another senator, Ashley Moody, for Florida. She's going to be attending. Down here, you've got Bernie Moreno, another US senator for Ohio. Down here, you've got Bedad Egbali, co-founder and managing partner of Clear Lake Capital Group. So again, we could just keep going. Co-founder of the Canton Group. Now, Canton Group is in the headlines quite an awful lot. It's one of those tokens. It's just launched probably in the last, 3 to 6 months. But the token price is very, very volatile at the minute. It's raking up. It's raking down. It's doing sometimes 10, 15% in a day. He's going to be there. It is an invite only. I don't think I'm going to apply because I don't think I'm going to get in. And then we've got Philippe Lafont, founder and CIO of Co2 Management. He will be there as well. So again, there's a lot of people going to be going to this event. And again, I think with these types of events, you're going to see a lot of alpha coming out. And the big thing I've always said is, when you've got so much weight behind you, you can still fail, of course. But when you've got so much weight behind you and you get proper clever people to run your business, as the Trump family have done with the guys that are running the company for them, the co-founded the company with them, it's very hard to fail. When you've got political might, financial might, and experience, it's very hard for a company to fail. And way back in September, we told you about 3 tokens that we were going to buy, didn't we? We said Pump, we said Asta, and we said World Liberty Financial. They were the 3 tokens we went with back in maybe even September, October time. It's sometime around then anyway. Each of those tokens, excluding those other 2, but each of those tokens has a buyback mechanism. The one that stands out is World Liberty Financial, because whereas Asta is based on trading volume is dependent on the market. World Liberty Financial is based on stablecoin revenue, which is slightly different because stablecoin revenue can be used as stablecoin transactions, which doesn't get affected by the market. So trading volumes are based on the price of Bitcoin, the price of Ethereum. Stablecoin is based on dollar and dollar. So if somebody takes out a loan against their stablecoins, it's in a dollar. If people want to stake it and earn a yield, it's in the same dollar. The market, Bitcoin can go from $126 to $50,000. Your $100,000 worth of USD1 stays at $100,000. So it's kind of agnostic as to whether it's a bull or a bear market. The only thing that you should really look at really is, of course, money leaving the market. So as I said to you before, there was $3.5 billion worth of Tether left the market Monday, I think. That's the only real kind of downside. So when you start to see stable coins shrink, then you've probably got a worry. But as I said to you before, World Liberty Financial stablecoin has gone from $1 billion to $5.4 billion in the matter of maybe 3 months. It's the fastest growing stablecoin probably in the world. It's probably the fastest growing stablecoin on Solana because that's what most of the stablecoin growth on Solana has been in the last couple of months. And of course, it's on the Binance Smart Chain. So it's got all the decent blockchains that you'd want to be on. Ethereum, Solana, Binance Smart Chain. They're the ones I would have gone with. And again, we did another video a couple of Saturdays ago where we talked about another company. And my order would have been Ethereum, Solana, Binance Smart Chain. What they've done is they've gone Ethereum, Solana, Base, Arbitrum, then some other versions, and then they've gone to Binance Smart Chain. The next step then for World Liberty Finance, in my opinion, and again, it's my opinion, is for them to start to look to expand maybe into one of the different stablecoin layer ones. Again, this is conjecture. This is nothing to do with what they've published. I don't know what they've published. If I was USD1, I would want to be an element on stablecoin blockchains. Now, we know about Plasma, we know about ARC, we know about Layer 0, we know about Stable. I would want my stablecoin in at least one, if not 2 of those different blockchains. Maybe only one of them of the 4 works. That's what I've said in many other streams. So that's what I would look for. And that is really where I would want to leave that. I think the future is grow to 10 billion across Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum. That would be goal number 1, the most important goal. Goal number 2 for me would be to look at adding USD1 to the stablecoin infrastructure, the stablecoin blockchains. That would be my next move. But again, as I keep saying, this is just conjecture. Now then, it's 11:53. We don't have a lot of time left. We are going to very quickly, the reason I've switched you over here, is we are very quickly going to go and have a look at the WLFI token. I've got another question to go through. Actually, that's a good point. I have to read the questions out. Right, now, let me see if I can bring up the chart. And then I'll switch to the chart view. And then I'll take you through what I think. Is it going to be the right colour? Oh, the oracle's done it in the right colour. Fantastic. Okay. Just give me a second to bring this up. Now, let me just bring this down to here. There we go. So, just need to change that, and there we go. I should probably delete my notes from what I said on the last week's stream, which is fine, because I don't want to prejudice what I'm about to say. Right then, this is the state of play for WLFI. You will see directly above my head, right there, that is where we are with the price. We are coming in. Actually, that's a really good point. You can't see the price, can you? Right, there we go. If I scroll that across there, can you see the price now? There we go. So, it's a little bit too far. Let's move that back out of the way. Okay, I think we're good. There we go. Perfect. Right. This area, and maybe even a little bit lower, this is the area I would look at to buy this token. Now, since we saw this go live, this is kind of the range that we have been in. Probably, if we do this, and we probably do this. Okay, this is the range that we have been in on World Liberty Financial. And we've been in it pretty much since the token went live, which was probably on this exchange, it was the middle of November. So December, January, February. So about 3 months, this is the range that we've been in. And that range has been roughly between about 17.5 cents to about 12 cents, 12.3 cents at the bottom. We are coming in at pretty much exactly 10 cents. Now, we have got, probably if I look now, we're going to see that Bitcoin is at 66.4. So Bitcoin's come down about $2,500 in the last 24 hours. So Bitcoin is on a bit of a tear to the downside. I think 64,000 is the next level down for Bitcoin. 63, 64,000 for Bitcoin. This would traditionally be the area to buy World Liberty Financial. That would be the area to buy. Anything below 11 cents. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to bounce back to 16, 17 cents. I don't think we are. I think we are in the next probably 7 months, we're going to be looking at some kind of bear market. If that's the case, you want to be looking to buy, I would say, World Liberty Financial, you want to be buying between about 5 and 10 cents. Okay? I don't know if it's ever going to go as low as 5 cents. But if Bitcoin retraces from where we are now, if Bitcoin retraces from here and does hit 50,000, which I expect, that's a 30% drop in Bitcoin. If Bitcoin drops 30% and World Liberty Financial just keeps parity with Bitcoin, we're looking at 7 cents. Now, 7 cents, for me, for a token that, even if it goes back to these all-time highs here, which is about 20 cents, is a 3x. So what I would suggest, token-wise, is you look to accumulate between 5 and 10 cents. As I said, I have said, since around about this area here, anything below 11 cents and we're buying. That's what we've said. I think we are now looking at the point of, is it going to break 10 cents to the downside? That's the question. We're at 999. Bitcoin is coming down. This is down 6.8% in 24 hours. Could it go lower? Never say it's not going to go lower, because it always does. So I would say 5 to 10 cents would be the buy range, the purchase range, the dollar cost average range. Now, what we said last week, and I'm going to put it back on the screen, is 17 to 19 cents would be an area that I would take some profit. Now, again, taking profits does not mean that you don't believe in a project. What it means is, if you sell here, and then you buy here, and then you sell, here, and then you buy here again, instead of having 1,000 WLFI tokens, by the time you buy down here, you could very well have 1,500 WLFI tokens. So it's not about not believing in a project, it's about understanding the range. So for example, with Ethereum, could Ethereum go to $1,200 in this bear market? Yes, absolutely. We are at $1,900. So we'd be talking about a 35% drop. 35% drop. If Bitcoin is going to drop from where it is now, that is a 25% drop. Whatever Bitcoin drops, you then multiply that by maybe the volatility of the coin. So a 35% drop for Ethereum, probably about right if Bitcoin comes down 20%, 25%. What about World Liberty Finance? Well, clearly, World Liberty Finance is likely to come down 40%, maybe. So that would put it at 6 cents. If we don't bounce, remember, I haven't got a crystal ball, but I think these ranges, buying range and selling ranges, I think these are two really good medium-term targets. Now, again, if we do get down to 6 or 7 cents and you buy, and we get back up towards 13 or 14 cents and you want to sell and take some profits, by all means, you've made 100% return. Nobody should ever tell you not to sell something if you're in profit, because you should always take profits. And those profits allow for any downturn. So you sell at the top, you buy at the bottom, you sell at the top, you buy at the bottom. You know what the next thing is? We come back up here. Maybe you sell again. But at some point... So the point of the matter is, there's a thing called tribalism, which I don't buy into. I love Bitcoin. It's the only coin I will never sell. Park that. Ethereum, Solana, and World Liberty Financial, other coins as well, Aster, XRP, whatever it might be. I like these coins. The way to look at what I'm explaining to you now is, I'm not selling out of the project. I'm selling it to be able to buy more. That's the point. I sell to buy more. You can do it in one of two ways. You can just dollar cost average in every week, dollar cost average in, dollar cost average in, dollar cost average in. Great. Or if you've already got 1,000 tokens, say, so 1,000 tokens is $100. Okay, so if you sell, let's say we go to 20 cents and you sell, you've got $200. But you had 100 tokens. So you had 1,000 tokens and you've sold it and you've made $200. And then the price drops back from 20 cents to 10 cents. You suddenly have 2,000 tokens. Then the price goes up again and you sell for $400. Then it drops again to 10 cents. And then suddenly you've got 4,000 tokens. So I started with 1,000, I traded 3 or 4 times and I got 4,000. Now, that's an absolute extreme. Okay, that's 100% each round trip. We know that's not going to happen. But if you buy at 6 cents or 7 cents or 8 cents and it goes back to 16 cents, it's 100%. If it goes back to 20 cents, it's a lot more. It's like 150% return. So the key is to take profits. And every single person watching this should have prices to take profits on those coins at, or to buy the coins that you want to buy. So if you want Solana and you say, right, whatever happens, I'm buying at $75. Why? Because if it's likely in the next bull run to get back up towards 230, 240, 250, because that's where it went in the last bull run. So forget it going any higher than what it did in the last bull run. If it gets back to 225 and I buy at 75, I will 3x. If World Liberty Financial, if you get this at 7 cents and it does go to 21 cents, you've 3x'd your money. That's how to look at it. I'm never going to sit here and tell you this token is going to $10. Because if you want to watch somebody that does that, go and watch somebody else, okay? We're talking about the range. I don't hold out much hope. I think we will have a rally before summer, maybe March time, I think we'll have a rally. And then I think over the summer we're going to go sideways or we're going to go sideways and down. That's what I think. I haven't changed my thesis since January. I didn't expect us to have this kind of move, by the way. Right, so the issue here, when you look at World Liberty Financial, it's at $2 billion, $2.6 billion at 10 cents. At 40 cents, it's got a $10 billion market cap, okay? Now, just put that into context so you understand where I'm coming from. A $10 billion market cap puts it 10th. Is that massively unachievable? No. Is it likely? No, it's not. It's not likely to do the jump from where it is now, because where it is now is here in 30th position. However, at 20 cents, if it does have a little bit of a market recovery, maybe we do, it would put us probably into the top 20. Is that achievable? Absolutely. So my range of 10 to 20 cents, for me, is sensible. And that's what we want to be. We want to be sensible here. The people that tell you that this is going to go, if I hit refresh, this should work, shouldn't it? Let's have a look. Yep, we're good. We're here. We're good. Okay. So the people that are telling you that World Liberty Financial is going to go to $1, that's the equivalent of going to 30. What did we say it was at now? Actually, no. World Liberty Financial is down here. Okay. So that would put us at $26.8 billion, which puts us here, 8th, with Tron. It's not going to happen. I'm going to be honest, okay? I'm going to Simon Cowell this. It's not going to happen. So you need to look for a range that the token will move between. And for me, it's 10 and 20 cents. 2.6 to $5.5 billion is a really good range for it to stay in for the rest of the year. And again, you can make healthy profits. Sell at 19 cents, buy at 11 cents. You're making probably a good 75% gain each time. You do that a couple of times and you're in, because the market will recover. World Liberty Finance will go to 15, 17 cents. You take some profits, the market retraces again, you buy at 11, you do the whole thing. Remember Celestia. 2.5 years ago, we traded Celestia between $10 and $20, I think it was, at the time. We did that about 6 times in a year. 100% each way. Pretty much. This can do the same thing. But again, I am not here to simply tell you we're going to go to the moon when the moon is 20 cents. Now then, we've got to the end of the stream and I have to pick my questions. Mags has asked me a question that I can't answer. So Mags gets eliminated, unfortunately, but thank you for the question. So I'm going to head over to Binance Square and I'm going to read a few of these questions. What do we have here? Tariq has said, is World Liberty Financial going to have a future after Trump leaves politics? That's the question. Now, I am not going to sit here and ignore every question. The reason I can't answer Mags is it's heavily weighted. Okay, so Mags has asked me a question that's just heavily weighted. So I'll answer Tariq's. Absolutely. Now, the reason is World Liberty Financial is a regulated entity in the United States of America, number one. Number two, and more importantly for me, the stablecoin, USD1, falls under the Genius Act, which means it adheres to everything the Genius Act wants from a stablecoin. That's it. So the stablecoin is bona fide. It has a seat at the table with every other stablecoin, and it's legitimate. Now, the way I would answer that question is this. Will World Liberty Financial be as heavily weighted with Trump family members in the future? And my answer to that would be no. What Trump is a genius at is setting up a business, adding value to the business, and then selling a share of the business. So I don't know what the shares are, but let's say Trump owns 50% of World Liberty Financial. Within the next 5 or 6 years, I'd expect that to drop to 25%. And then Trump will probably go on and do something else. That's how I see it working. So they keep skin in the game, they grow the value of the business, they stay on the board, and they take profit out of the business. So that's my honest answer to what I think would happen there. Then Baxi has asked a question: will World Liberty Financial reach some normal price in the future? In a bear market, everything goes down, and it feels like it's going to go down forever. You buy at 5 to 10 cents, for example, and then you accumulate at those prices, and then when the price goes up towards 20 cents, 25 cents, whatever it might be, you take profits. That would be my move. So extreme outliers: you buy at 5 cents, you sell at 25 cents. Reality, more likely, is you buy anywhere between 7 and 9 cents and you sell at 19 to 21 cents. So somebody could sit here and tell you you're going to do a 5x. I would probably like to sit here and say you're going to do a 2.5x. Now, I don't know. No Next Move has asked a question. Okay, so basically, Next Move has said the data on CPI is coming out on Friday, isn't it? That's going to be the one that's going to tell us where America is going to go in the near future. Okay, so there are my 2 questions. They're my 2 winners. The 2 winners are Tariq and Baxi. You've both won. Now, what I will do is I'm going to give you both some USD1 tokens. So, what I need from Tariq and Baxi, I need your... I don't know if I can get it. I need your user IDs. So, Tariq and Baxi have won. You've both won. I need your user IDs. So, I think Tariq can probably... I can get hold of Tariq on Telegram. So, Tariq, you're on Telegram. I need your user ID for Binance. Baxi, I think you've won in the past. So, I might have Baxi's details. But either way, Baxi and Tariq have won. You are all lovely. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I have certainly enjoyed the stream, even though we did have a few minor cutouts along the way. So a few thank yous, Tariq and Baxi. Thank you for asking your questions. A Next Move. What did you write here? Actually, there is a translate button. I can see what he's saying on here. The dollar is directly affected by expectation of the US interest rate resulting from CPI. Absolutely, you are correct on that. Bull analysis. Leon Sol Sateandi, welcome. I hope you're all doing well. Hi. Okay, so I'm going to keep it off. Right, Baxi, thank you for your code. Now, I'm not going to leave this days before I pay you, so I am going to be paying you in the next hour. Tariq, if you are there, I will ask you on here now. I need your Binance user ID, Tariq, because you've won. Okay, thank you for watching. The Oracle's probably going to put out a video on World Liberty Financial in the next day or so as well. He will be streaming tomorrow night. I'm streaming tomorrow day, and I'm streaming on Friday, and I'm streaming on Saturday. So this is a full week of me streaming. In fact, I might not be streaming tomorrow. I don't know. But anyway, we'll see. So thank you for watching. Thank you for taking part. You're all amazing people. Thank you for watching on... thank you for watching on Binance Square, and I will see you in the next live, which is tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Take care.